So Todd, can you please explain the repercussions for committing a crime of any sort?
Okay, I can do that. But you have to look at man's laws and crime itself. Some crimes are based on man's laws that are based in love, and some are based in man's laws that are based in fear. So we'll do love first. So when you have somebody who, I don't know, is a thief, and he breaks into your house when you're gone, and he takes all your stuff. Mm-hmm. When that person takes all your stuff and the people come home, what happens is those people will go through a traumatic experience. Even though they think it's kind of like a victimless crime, kind of, because they actually wasn't physical. Because
nobody got physically hurt, right? So they think that it's not that big of a deal.
Not big of a deal. All the pain, all the anger, all the feelings of being exploited and being violated will be felt by the person who took the goods, because their action created it. Just as God pressed record on the thief's life, God also presses record on the people who had their items stolen. Mm-hmm. So what a thief has to realize is that every time they steal something, when that person finds out that that stuff is stolen, you have to feel the ramifications of that for as long as they feel it. And maybe days, maybe weeks, maybe months. They may have to go through a whole bunch of extracurricular things to protect their house at a different level because of what you did. All the pain, all the anguish that they go through for that little come up that you got, they have to feel that. Now we'll look at another laws based in love. We'll talk about like assault. When you assault somebody, when you return back home, you will feel exactly what that person felt that you assaulted, as if you were doing it to yourself, because your intent and your actions created it. That's why Jesus taught to turn the other cheek, because what you don't realize is that there's no way you can do something to somebody else and not feel the ramifications of your actions. Now, this also applies to the other side of the law. So just because somebody has a badge doesn't mean that God does not feel the ramifications of an action from a person with a badge to a person that doesn't have a badge. Mm-hmm. And all potentials are known on the other side of the veil. So if there was a chance you could have used pepper spray or a stun gun instead of putting 3 rounds in his chest or her chest, that'll be known also. When you sit on somebody's throat and let them die, that's on you. You will feel exactly what that felt like.
Because all intentions
are known and all actions are felt.
Because every intention and every action creates a ripple and vibration,
right,
and you can't escape that.
Right. So crime doesn't pay. We always say that here on this side of the veil. Mm-hmm. Literally, crime does not pay, because every time that you do something to somebody else, you have the intent of maliciousness towards somebody else or aggression towards somebody else, you will feel the ramifications and repercussions of it when your soul returns back home and it goes through its past life review, and you can't pray it away. But you also have to look at, there's laws that are based in fear, not love. So you have laws to where if somebody doesn't have the correct piece of paper in their hand to come into this country and they cross a border, right, that they're breaking a law. That law isn't based in love. It's based in fear. So when they cross this border and they come into the United States, nothing happens. There was nobody that was hurt. There was nobody assaulted. There was nobody that stole anything from anybody. You're literally just crossing from one imaginary line drawn in the sand by man. So when you cross, nothing happens. You come up here and considering you don't create other issues, you come up here and you get a job picking lettuce. You didn't steal a job. Nobody wanted that job. You came here with no skills. You came here to take jobs that nobody wanted because they were too hard on the body. Picking lettuce in the hot sun is not fun. So nothing happens. You send that money back home and your children now have shoes. So not only was it not negative, it was actually a positive. Long as that person is not doing anything malicious towards anybody else, they did not break any of God's laws. Now, man will say we need to throw them in prison because they broke man's laws. True, but that law is not based in love. It's based in fear. And every law has to be put into context if it's aligned with God or aligned with God's love or aligned with man's fear. And when you break it down that way, that's why you have so many progressives and liberals saying, wait a second, these people should not be thrown in prison, especially if they're not doing anything wrong. And they're right. They're 100% correct. While the people on the right will say, well, man's laws override God. No, they do not. Well, the Bible says you're supposed to follow man's laws if they're based in God's love, not based in man's fear. That's the problem. So if Donald Trump made a law tomorrow that said, all redheads should be, put in front of a firing squad, does that mean God has to change? Okay, everybody, it's okay for people to do that because Donald Trump said to do so. It does not work that way. God's system, God's plan is perfect. And we work within those parameters. Whatever you do, is it based in love or is it based in hate? So a lot of times people will think that it's very cut and dry, very black and white, and it's not. But what is black and white is if you treated people with love and compassion, you're okay. If you try to get a come up, even those who do white collar crimes and take money, they get to feel what that felt like for those people that you stole the money from. So there's also laws that protect those people. Those are based in love. So people don't hurt them. They get hurt by having their money taken from them or stolen from them or swindled from them somehow. So even if you're in another country and you're full senior citizen into giving money to a prince, right, mm-hmm. that needs money, right, the old prince or king of some country needs money, those people that con those elderly people, mm-hmm. they will feel exactly what those elderly people go through because their words created that situation for them. There's no way to get around it. It covers the whole planet. God's recording all of our actions and all the repercussions of our actions, and karma is keeping everything in check. And that's the second part. When somebody has is aggressive or steals or takes or hurts another human, not only do they feel it on the other side of the veil, now that karmic cycle is attached to them. Mm-hmm. So now they have to go through situations that are similar so that they can learn through firsthand knowledge of the experience. When we learn through firsthand knowledge of the experience, it becomes innate within us. People who have things stolen from them will be less likely to steal from others because they know what it feels like. Mm-hmm. Those who have been assaulted will be less likely to assault others. And some people are like, well, it's not going to happen this lifetime because I'm so-and-so. True, but you're always not going to be so-and-so. When you come back, you might be in a situation that's far different where you have no resources. Mm. You have no power to override the situation. And you just become a victim as you victimized others.
That's why I always like to say, start where you are, use what you have, and do what you can.
Right.
Because eventually everything will always, like you say, karma always keeps everything in check and balances, right?
Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm. Well, so what would you say to somebody who has the habit of just committing crimes over and over and over?
I would say to that person that they are a young soul, mm-hmm. and it will catch up to you. As I tell people, when you do good things here for people, it's double blessings. You get to feel it through your past life review, and you get karmic cycles now attached to your soul. Mm-hmm. Not to your vessel, to your soul, which lives forever. If you do horrible things, if you do things that hurt other people, not only do you get to feel what that felt like when you return back home, now that karmic cycle is now attached to you. So every blessing is a double blessing. Every time you do something good for somebody, it's a double blessing. Mm-hmm. Every time you do something bad to somebody, it's a double negative. Mm-hmm. So everybody thinks that there's no repercussions on the other side of the veil. It's double, no matter which direction you go.
It's almost like putting a curse on ourselves.
Exactly.
And now we know.
Thank you.